Hi there, welcome back to my beautiful channel. My name is Dani Henderson, and this is Everything Disclosure and Spirituality. My beautiful guest today is my lovely friend who I love from my heart. That is the one and only David Mahoney.
I
Mahoney,
thought you
how are you, my
I
love?
thought you were going to introduce somebody else then, that big massive introduction. Looking behind me. Danny, I'm really, really, really good. I've had a super interesting year as usual. I don't know why, you see, this is for the sake of the audience. This is often what happens when you've got friends in this game, in this online speaking and exploration, spiritual exploration. The time just goes like this, and before you know it, it's a year since you've talked to each other. Although we've had a few messages back and
Yeah,
forth.
no, we talk throughout the year, and we keep in touch here and there, but we haven't had a proper sit down chat or we haven't recorded together for a
It's been
good
a
while.
while. It has
It
been a
really
while,
has.
yeah.
Yeah, it really
So
has. So you're there
yeah, I'm
in Marbella, in
I'm
Spain.
in the heart of Andalusia in southern Spain, and I absolutely adore living in this part of the world. You know, I was sitting outside today. It's November. Look, I'm in a t-shirt. I
Oh,
was having a cold beer at lunch, degrees, blue skies, looking at a beautiful golf course. I just thought how blessed I am. How much spirit has just said, you know what? I'm going to give you everything you want. Living in a beautiful place, healthy, strong. I love what I do. I love talking to all these interesting people I meet on my journey. And it's great to catch up with people like yourself because although we're in the same sort of neighborhood, we're sort of, I would say your chosen specialized subject is somewhat different to mine. So mixing the audience that we have together so they can understand what you're doing, what your journey is, and vice versa, I think is a really good thing to do.
yeah, definitely. We've noticed we were both mentioning Nicholas Vemianin, who
Oh,
we record with on the regular, and I clicked on him. I think it was last week, and I haven't seen him for a long time. And he got bumped off YouTube, didn't he? And everyone's
yeah,
suddenly getting their channels back. Sorry, I'm getting so many texts. All of a sudden, nothing all day, and then boom, 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 boom.
it
My friend
happens.
Beverly Rose. Yeah, and as I was watching Nick, and I was like, oh my God, look at the shift in him. He's made such a beautiful shift spiritually, and now he's speaking with way more ownership and really sharing himself, and it's something that we're seeing, that we're witnessing. And I've, again, similar with you, I've noticed that you have also been putting out a lot more, so where is that going? First of all, you should tell my audience that may not remember you from the last time we spoke, like who you are and what you do. What would you say your specialty is?
Well, that's a good question. That you've got about five different questions there. Um, I became publicly known during COVID, basically, because my background is film. I still am active in the film game, an actor, producer. I've just shot two episodes of a series that we're going to present to Netflix in the winter. We're just editing the first two episodes. It's a bit of a gangster movie, all set in southern Spain. I had a following just before COVID of all of these people that were following my on-screen career as an actor. But unfortunately, I always get cast as the same sort of gangster type of person and not the cuddly teddy bear type. Don't know why. So COVID comes along, we get locked down, and my story, Danny, is bizarre because, and I'm going to talk on a spiritual side here. About 20, maybe 25 years ago, I was Sunday morning having breakfast in a famous place here called Porta Banús, which is a marina place, and it's where all the action was, all the girls, the bars, the guys, all the clubs, everything. So it was hungover on a Sunday morning, and this beautiful German girl came up to me, and she was with a guy, and she said, "I must talk to you. I've been told I have to talk to you." And I thought, "Oh God, did I do something last night?" I really like what? And I could see the guy that she was with. I can spot military people a mile away. It's the way they walk and the way they observe and the way they hold their hands in front like this, not in the pockets and the shoulders
Yeah.
forward. So basically, she said, "I've been told I have to wake you up." I said, "Wake me up." Honestly, so far over my head, had no idea. And so I spent a month in the remote mountains. I rented a place. She'd go home every night, but come over in the morning. And she spent a month with me, or maybe even longer, in this intense explanation about this whole spiritual stuff. I was like, look, I just didn't get it. And she said, you're on a very special mission. You are going to do something. It's not going to be television, it's not going to be film, but your voice is going to reach millions of people and you're going to make a difference. She says, I don't understand what it is, but I need you to start with this section with me. And it's going to send you on a traveling journey where you're going to travel all over the place and you're going to seek out people that have information that you need. You're going to train yourself in crazy skills. She says, I can see you getting in aviation, electronics, cars, motorcycles, engines. She said, then there's a science part. And I was like, what? I was very young. And here's the kicker point. She told me, now you can ask my family members this because they all still freak out about it now. She said, in the future, she didn't tell me what year, she said there is going to be a virus and it's going to come very quickly. America will be the first to close its doors to the world, and the rest of the world will follow, and the world will go to sleep for 2 years. They will have a cure for this, but the cure will kill people. And you will lose 50% of the people that you love. And know 50% of people that you know and you love. So I immediately was like, oh, come on. But I've never ever forgotten it. So when this virus came March 2020, I knew what it was. I was like, oh my God, this is it. And so did my family. We were all ready for it. I thought it was going to be more severe because she never told me the outcome afterwards, you see. So and what I've learned to understand is that the 50% of the people that I know and love I will lose is not necessarily them being taken and passing over. It's the political opinion about what people believe in, and they say, "Oh, you're full of shit. I don't want to talk to you." And it's true, Danny. 50% of the people, and I saw it really quickly because I was very outspoken about it, as we all were. We were all exchanging ideas. The research that we did online, because come on, man, if you're a curious, intelligent person putting someone in a house with nothing to do for, months on a time, the first thing you're going to do is get on the internet. What they should have done is shut the internet down. So I started speaking out about it. I started sharing rules and restrictions and Spanish constitution, how you could travel. And I went all over the place. I went to Bolivia with Huna, as you remember. I was all over the place. So I became famous for speaking out about that. Then Charlie Ward, we all got in the same sort of channels. And what was the Dutch woman's name that did the Fall of the Cabal?
Janet von Ossenboard.
Janet lived really close as well. So we had Janet, Charlie, and me all in the same sort of 1 hour's drive of each other. Something about this part of Spain and the energy and the light, it all put us here so we could just get our messages out. So that's what happened. I got voted number 7 in the world for online truth talking. But now, fast forward 5 years later, Danny, it's just I'm kind of so burned out with it. What Trump is going to do next, what's happening here, the election is going to be rigged, and I'm like, this is just not fulfilling anymore. So in the summer, I took the whole summer off my broadcast. I'm not doing any shows. I'm going to take the summer off. And I announced publicly, I said, there's something coming for me. It's going to be a total change of direction. I didn't know what it was. But I just took the summer off. And because I've had a betrayal in my life, really bad one, like deception, lies, betrayal. I'm not talking about it publicly, but I'll tell you that much. It tore my entire heart apart. My soul and heart, I couldn't believe it. From someone that was really close to me. And because of that, I had what they call a tower moment in Tara, or they call it a dark night of the soul in the spiritual world. Confusion, should I've done this? Why does it happen to me? You go through all of that. But when you come out of that, it's really painful. When you come out of that, my spiritual abilities, I got such a reward, Danny. Honestly, and they keep doing it. Every day I get a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, a bit more, and I can feel it. It's like this amazing excitement feeling you'd have before your Christmas morning as a kid. Every day you wake up and say, right, spirit, what we doing today, buddy? What's going on? Come on, let's have it. So yeah, I've been rewarded for my pain, and I've come to understand it more because what you do is you go and you start researching, talking to people, and this energetic shift now that I've been put into is going to start me in a completely different journey. I've already started making all of these different videos, and I can feel they're getting big. The comments that people are leaving are incredible,
Yeah,
incredibly supportive, and also saying, Mahoney, that's exactly what I needed right now. Oh my God, you've cleared some trauma from me that I've had for 30 years.
yeah.
So it's a new calling, but same old Mahoney. That's me, really, in a nutshell.
Yeah, no, I love it. So before we go more into your kind of epiphanies and the spiritual aspect, because it's really, really important, um, you know, I will say also, and lots of people, I also just went through a horrific, heartbreaking betrayal.
Yeah, and the same month,
Yeah,
within a couple of days of
same,
each other.
the
Yeah,
same, the same timing, the last 8 weeks. I mean, I have been absolutely devastated and broken and so ill, so ill, like physically. Heartbreak is a physical, when you love a friend, heartbreak is a physical thing. And anyway, yeah, this whole kind of recovery and it is amazing how a person especially when you're so blindsided and you don't ever see it and you don't think it would ever be that person that would do that. Uh,
yeah,
then, the choices that you have to how you're going to manage that, and if you are going to choose to treat that person the way they're treating you or displaying you on a website, let's say, like that cruel, dark, cold, soulless behavior, you know, I just send that person love and I
love and light. Yeah,
well,
love and light.
wish them well. I hope they find the joy and the fame and the glory they're looking for. And and I'll never speak of it in public, and
Yeah,
would hurt people. I don't want to do that, People are there to be treated properly. But so let's go back to so you've had your betrayal, and you have chosen to be what and to do what? Like, how have you decided not to match the energy that this person forced on you?
it's very clever. It's a clever question. That is, basically, it's a bit like any tragic moment you have in your life, but you don't believe it first. What are you talking about? It can't be right. Can't be real. This can't be happening. I can't believe it. And then you go into anger. And then, of course, my particular personality trait is I'm a fighter. I'm not a fleer. I don't run. I face my fears. I love a good therapy. Anybody, I'm right in your face. I'm aggressive and a warrior energy coming from me. So I don't hide from anything or anyone. So, of course, you think, right, what am I going to do about it? I want vengeance. I want this. And Spirit just said, he just sent me a peaceful energy. He just said, you know what? Here's actually, I remember exactly. It was, I actually asked, I said, show me who this person really is. And then I started finding out more and more and more and more and more. And I was like, oh my God, have I been deceived? I was like, I can't be. And it was all making sense. I had all of these, it's not evidence, but you kind of figure it out. Um, and when you ask that question, show me who this person really is, I was shocked. But then I got a message saying, God removes people from your life that are no good for you. You got to trust in God, trust in spirit, trust in the grand creator, whatever you want to call him. Trust in him. He's going to remove people in your life for a reason because they're not good for you. But he'll bring somebody in that's perfect for you because he doesn't give you that pain and not give you the painkiller. But you've got to go through these journeys because it helps you grow spiritually. It helps you search out answers. It helps you become more astute. So I didn't do any of the vengeance thing. In actual fact, I tried to help the situation, but of course, the person refused the help. They didn't want to know. And I'm careful not to say male or female. See, I'm not giving anything away. So they refused the help. I said, okay, you know what? Go. This is your journey. These are your problems. You see, it's a bit like if you a one night stand, you get drunk, you meet a boy, you meet a girl, you end up rolling around. You didn't plan it. It's just one of those things. Alcohol was an infusion reaction, and you just thought, shit, I really regret that. But when people are plotting and planning and making appointments and ordering things and arranging it, this is a whole different thing. This is a whole level of deceit. And that's that person's own particular character flaws. That's nothing to do with you. Even if you'd done more, if you loved them more, given them more money, given them more opportunity, whatever, they would still do it because that's who they are. But I really believe, Danny, that it's called a karmic. This is it. You have a karmic energy come into your life specifically to show you and to teach you about that, what you need to learn about. And that's their purpose. You might have been a business partner with them, you might have been a lover with them, you might have been a neighbor with them or a family member with them. But their sole purpose was to do this to you. It was already preordained. Spirit and Lord, Jesus, they all knew about it. You just didn't know about it. So it's like, we've sent you that person and now going to force you to look in a different direction to look inward for the answers and not be that person that's going to be one vindictive I heard something the other day. This reel came out and it said, I found out my boyfriend cheated on me, so I had sex with his dad. I was like,
Oh,
you know, this
God.
is just something on Instagram, fish around. But you see how people can make
Yeah,
that goes so dark.
yeah,
So I didn't do any of that. I trusted in this feeling of being peaceful. I was very upset. I just waded through it, got on with my day, tried to distract myself, and just trusted. And all of a sudden, once you understand that the karmic person is there to teach you a lesson, and you understand that you're going to be rewarded, something just happened. I just got this huge lift recently, about 2 weeks ago, maybe 3 weeks ago. I had some contact from that person, and they sent me a message, and I read the message. I was like, "Oh my God, I'm so relieved. Thank you. That's what exactly." Because you can read between the lines saying, "You know what, David?" You can read between the lines about where they're actually at, and in that emotional journey they're on. I was like, "You're not fooling me. I see straight through that." But thank you. There's that relief that I needed, so I can move on. And now it's like big weight off my shoulders. But it just takes time, Danny. And I think the only way you're going to deal with it is using the energy of love, not hatred, not vengeance.
yeah.
Don't wish them malice or I hope your life falls apart
Yeah,
or I hope you
that's
lose
an
your business.
yeah, people got to understand if you send negative energy to someone that you perceive to have betrayed or hurt or harmed you, even like with you with all the evidence, me
It's a
also,
mirror.
yeah, but again, you're emotionally hooking. You're not free. You are engaged. They are renting space in your head. You're renting space in their head. They are considering you each day. They are locked into your frequency because of what they perceive to be. Because humans, we are the best at talking ourselves in and out of situations. We are the
Yeah.
best at avoiding. We are the best at not taking responsibility, not taking ownership. And this is our opportunity to totally beware of two things. Number one, do not become the victim. Number two, do not become the martyr. The martyr is, look what I have done. I have died. I have suffered for you. The victim is,
Yeah.
oh, it always happens to me. Everything happens to me. Why are people so mean to me? Equally boring people. The victim and the martyr, nobody likes them. We need something in the middle, the balance, the balance. And the growth for the soul right now has never been more opportune, and it takes sometimes a kicking and a beating, unfortunately,
Gotta have it.
to push through to that next phase because there are people that will always remain in the 3D, even if they think themselves five and six and seven, and that's their problem. They're stuck in their ego, and really they're
Oh, it's a big
talking
problem.
bollocks. And also the thing is people are literally we are all in some kind of program. There's a lot of different space programs people are involved in. They're not even aware of it because they believe themselves to be the blessed and the chosen. Oh, the chosen. Oh, chosen. You know,
Chosen one to reception, please. Your food is ready.
right. And you got to take care of people. People need to take care of people. If you put yourself in a public position, you really have a job to be honoring and loving and you're in service. And the minute you forget that, the minute you
Hmm.
forget that we are in service to the public, to humanity, not here to be attacked, not here to be harmed, but here with the responsibility that if we put information out, it's the truth. It's not made up. It's not exaggerated. We're not lying to people. And that is for me is an absolute final line. No lying, no cheating, no being, unkind, and no leading people astray. Absolutely never, ever would I have I,
But
shall
there's
I.
two points that you said there, Danny, is
I
interesting.
know.
The word accountability and
Mm.
being authentic. These are two things that, people don't take accountability of what they're doing anymore. And I'm not like that. I'm very authentic. You meet me in real life, this is how I am on camera. There's no bullshit with me. I don't lie. If I don't know the answer, I say, I don't know, but I can find out for you. Standing in your own authentic image and energy is very important. And I see a lot of people that are broadcasting online that are not. And it makes me go, I'm not interested anymore. And taking accountability. That was my mistake. Absolutely shouldn't have done that. Because there's a word here, Danny, that I've got a really good, people say sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry that hurt you. I say, hang on, no. No, sorry is a momentary lack of concentration where you drop a glass or you accidentally back my car into another car or do something where you're just not thinking. That's not a sorry for doing something that you're going to plan and go against me and make such a huge emotional damage behind you, like a wake of a wrecking ball behind you on this. This isn't a sorry. This isn't a sorry. You can't say sorry for stuff like that. That needs to go much deeper into the emotion to say, okay, why did you do it? Well, I did it because I was jealous of you, or I did it because you are making more money than me and I've got a bad drug problem and I need to. There's always a reason behind it. People just say, oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Don't accept that.
That's
That's
funny.
momentary lack of concentration. That's a fucking sorry.
Yeah.
None of this other stuff. Now, we need to talk about you because for my audience, they really must have some distant memory of what we've been doing before. So, Danny, let's have a chat about who you are, what your specialized chosen field is.
Um, my specialized chosen field is helping humanity see how absolutely beautiful and brilliant they are in every single way. Their metaphysical way, their spiritual way, their connections, their clairvoyance, their clairsentience, their spiritual gifts that they came in with, and those that they are awakening, and those that they are learning, and those that they are choosing to adopt. Because at this time, in this world ascension, as we're coming to understand that we are in a simulation, we are in a matrix, that we are living in a copy of what David Icke calls prime Earth. We are in a copy, we are in a simulation, and we are the ones who are going to be getting ourselves out. And the way we do that is through our spirituality. The way we do that is by raising frequency. The way we do that is going against the main energy on this planet that is conditioned and programmed to put everyone in stress and low vibes. The more
Yeah.
stressed my brothers and my sisters are, the less chance that they're led to believe that they have any chance of getting up and out of this ridiculous, constrained, kind of enslaved mental attitude that the elites or the deletes or the ding dongs at the top, who all worship Satan, the ding
Yeah.
dongs at the top, the Clintons, the Bushes, the other asshats around the world that have been in control, and those whose names we don't know, we'll never know who they are. They'll never step forward. They're not even on the planet, most of them. They have, I mean, quadrillions of dollars. They rob countries, they carve the world up between themselves, they pass people around and mines and minerals and people's assets and all the rest of it. They are sober on, they're not even on the same financial system as us. They are completely devoid of soul. And there, the Satanics are setting up the Muslims. So in Britain, as you know, we've got a huge issue right now with hundreds of thousands of soldiers coming in. And, you know, people have got to recognize that when they say they're immigrants, no, my love, they are not immigrants, they are soldiers. And if they have a main religion, I would venture to potentially allegedly assume that they could be Muslim soldiers
Muslims, yeah, there's
to
probably a
force
strong
us
chance.
to submit to Allah, which is obviously not going to happen, but that's been the program of the Quran. I wonder if Keir Starmer and those other Nancy boys have also converted to Islam too, because they're certainly showing a level of cowardice never seen before. I mean, we've always had chinless wonders running Great Britain. It's not so great, letting every bugger and his mum and dad in. And I'm all for helping people, but when you can't even feed your own people, it's like you need to shut up and sit down. And I'm firing you all. We need to bring some real people in that are going to support this beautiful world. So we're seeing all the infrastructure failing, and with the Muslims or the soldiers, the radical soldiers who are waiting in hotels for the you know, to create the
The
civil
green
war.
lights.
Yeah, it's for civil war. They're doing it in Germany as well. They've done it in, do you say France?
Mhm.
Yeah, yeah. So we
And
know we're not stupid. You know, we're awake. So many people are awake, but they're, oh, our government would never do that. Doris, listen to me. Your Prime Minister, Keir Starmer, and other Muppets are boating in soldiers. They're boating them onto our shores, Poppet. Okay, and sticking them in hotels where we've got homeless veterans on the street. So we need to figure this out. And again, just very briefly, if people can't believe that we've got these soldiers in hotels, if they really were immigrants, where are the babies and the
yeah,
children
where the
and the
kids, where the
women
children.
and the elders? You know?
I know, I
So
know.
I'm
You're
here
right.
to do my part, to love my brothers and my sisters, and to wake us up on every single level. You know, on a galactic level, there are beautiful ETs, there are benevolent spacefaring civilizations. I have seen many physically myself. We've done so much work on my channel and my conferences, my Galactic Spiritual Informer conferences over the last 5 years. I've had so many wonderful speakers. Every single speaker I've ever had has brought something to the table. Every single one, and I bless them all. I do. Now I'm like, okay, we've done the ET bit for a long. I've got I've got JP coming back to talk about the American military and whistle blow on them. I've got Tony Rodriguez coming back. He's been to the moon, he's been to Ceres, he's been to Mars. And those that mock, that's fine. I don't even worry anymore. I'm like, it's okay, you'll catch up because we're moving forward. So I'm keeping the galactic element there. Of course, it's important. But what's more important now is blowing up and dynamiting the White House, the Pentagon, and all these kind of systems with my friend Kathy O'Brien, who was trafficked through the White House, the Pentagon, my friend Max Lowen, who was trafficked through the Vatican, now where the war is on the ground and we are here and we are bringing everything forward. So I guess in a nutshell, David Mahoney, that's kind of where I've been, where I am currently, and I hope that answers your question.
Oh, is that all?
Okay. I'm writing my second book as well, Angels, Demons, ETs, and Ghosts.
What's the first one called?
Angels, Demons, and Aliens.
Okay. Um, I was at the gym today, and the guy that I'm working out with, the reference is a book, and he says to me, "I've been watching all your new stuff, Mo, and it's a bit cosmic, isn't it?" I said, "Yeah, yeah. Do you not understand?" "Oh no, I follow it. I follow it." I read this book once called The Celestine Prophecy, and I started laughing. I said, "That thing is like kindergarten, mate. I mean, it's a good basis to start it, but I remember reading it in the 90s and I was furious at the end saying, what, they all going to Machu Picchu? I mean, spoiler alert, maybe. So going back into people's spiritual journey, this is the angle we'll hit at now because it's quite funny how some people I've noticed, Nick, we talked about Nicholas Van Yarman. Let's finish that little bit because Nick, do you know how Nick started? Actually, I bumped into Charlie Ward today. I had a coffee with Charlie, bumped into him and had a little hug and we did a little video. And anyway, Charlie has a one of his team members met Nick because Nick was selling foreign currency, dinar and Zims and this stuff. So he said to Nick, "You know what, mate?" He said, "You're a good-looking kid. Why don't you start your own channel?" "Oh, no, no, I don't know what to do about that." So Nick did it, and because he was introduced through one of Charlie's team members, he got on the circuit and started doing all the interviews. And Nick put up with a lot of trolling. They're all saying, "Who's this guy that looks after himself too much? Is he gay? Is he not gay?" Because he's handsome, he's well presented. He's one of these guys that likes to be turned out. He's conscious of his looks and his image, which is fine. I don't nothing wrong with that. But then, I mean, I've done interviews with him consistently. But then all of a sudden, because I took the summer off, I was like, "Holy shit, what have you eaten? Like a spiritual pill or something? Where did this come from?"
Ah,
Honestly, Danny, he's gone from zero to hero just over the summer. And
ah.
the stuff he talks about now, I was like, it's like I don't believe it. But I've talked to him off camera. We speak all the time. And I'm so proud of him, what he's achieved, because he went looking for it. He thinks he went looking for it, but no, that was source. That was saying, "Hey, this guy's got a voice. He's now got all his channel back up on YouTube. Let's hear what this guy has to say. Let's give him some upgrades." He's going to start talking about because ultimately, bearing in mind we're talking about the general population's wake up. People need to hear the stories. They need people like us talking. They need people like Nick having a journey experience, an upgrade, like me, my upgrades, like you, where you've been. I'm sure you've had upgrades as well since your heartache. There would have been a reward for you. So getting our voices out there to wake people up is what the whole message is about. But we're going to bounce a question back to you. Here's something that I've considered. Do you believe that everybody that you see walking around in your London or New York or wherever you are, Austin, Texas, or Houston, do you really believe everybody has a soul?
I mean, honest to God, absolutely yes. Everybody has a soul. I had this conversation today. This NPC bollocks is another like Nasara Jasara, another theme in the moment.
What's NPC? I don't know what that is. What
The
is that?
non-player character, like
Ah, yeah,
the
yeah. I don't.
soul, same thing, soulless one.
Yeah.
I do not believe that there are 80%. That was a figure I heard. And I don't know if it was Dolores Cannon, because who knows? People make stuff up all the time. So I don't want to misquote that lady. But I do not believe that there are millions of people walking around without a soul. No. Does that answer your question? I've got other ideas and things I could say about people who are cruel and cold and appear soulless.
Yeah.
They still have a soul. It could be dark and dark-hearted, but I don't believe that they are soulless. What are your thoughts?
Honestly, I kind of disagree with you a bit. I find a lot of people are very disconnected from sort of normal interaction with humans. I find Chinese people, I was just in Hong Kong, but it came before I was in Hong Kong. And, I find Chinese people very hard to connect to. Some of them are all right, but some of them go, they just have no interest. Different culture, but they've been living in Europe a long time. And then I had one really, really weird incident happen, right? Really strange incident. I got stuck on a train station, a rural train station in it was kind of near what's that town? Um, Newport. No, it wasn't. It was up near Chepstow. It was when my mother was alive, up near Chepstow.
In
So
England. Are you
yeah,
in
in England, right? So about 3 years ago. So it's a crisp morning, whether it's autumn or winter, something. It was a crisp morning, and I get off at this train station, and he said, you have to wait for a train." I was like, "How long is it?" It's like 50 minutes for the train. I'm like, "Oh God." So I'm looking around, thinking, "I'll go for a coffee somewhere." And I'm looking around, looking around. There doesn't seem to be anything there. So I see this young girl coming over. She looked like a typical student, baggy jeans on, got her hair and loads of piercings. She probably about 20, 24, something like that. I said, "Excuse me, are you from around here?" "Oh, yeah, yeah, I'm from around here." "Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's the matter?" I said, "Is there like a cafe or a pub or something I can just go and get a quick coffee or a sandwich in it?" And she just went, like, total shutdown. Battery drained. Nothing. I
That's
said,
drugs, mate. That's drugs.
"Well, maybe. I mean, I hadn't considered that." But she answered. She said, "Yeah, yeah, what's up? Hi." And then when I asked the question, she just went like, and then she said, "No, I don't know." And then I said, "Well, hold on a second. You just said that you're from around here and you don't know if there's a cafe." She said, "Nah, don't know." And walked off. I was like, "That's one of the weirdest things that's happened."
Wow.
So, but they can also be people that are just, not in, like, maybe like drugs would be one thing that would just disconnect you from your soul source of energy. Absolutely, it would. And
Mhm.
I believe drugs is the work of the devil. I do not, I will not take any other answer apart from that. You're into cocaine and you're into all the other little pills. I don't, people smoking a joint is different, it's just a plant. But the hardcore manufactured drugs that destroy lives, this is the work of the devil. As soon as you put that in your system, you're inviting a demonic possession to come and sit on your shoulder and you'll never get rid of it. It's like a parasite. You'll never get rid of it.
Yeah, I
So
agree. I agree. I
drugs,
can't even stand the smell of weed. Well, you're in Marbella, so I mean, you walking past, you smelling skunk and
what,
weed, and
what
I
sort
can't
of a
stand it.
slanderous comment is that? No, I don't smell it actually. I know there's places that
You
smell it.
and me too.
I don't think marijuana's bad. Look, you're not going to smoke a joint and then go home and start sharpening a Rambo knife and say, "I'm going to kill every motherfucker in the room." Doesn't do that. You just go in front and start eating Kit Kats and watching cartoons. They don't call it dope for nothing. So going back to the soul thing, I'm struggling to believe that people actually have a live, conscious something in there that's going to say, like, have you ever sat on a bus going through like Manchester or something? I was driving somewhere last week in England, 2 weeks ago. I was looking around at the people and they were just all kind of shuffling about like zombies. People have no life journey. They accept, "I'm born into poverty. I'm going to marry the whatever woman I can that my parents set me up with, or I managed to meet down the pub and convince I'm fantastic. I'll breed. I'll have some kids. I have no ambition. I'll work in the same place for 30 years." I went into one electrical cables looking for a power cord. I said to the guy, "How long you live? How long you worked here?" He said, "I've been here 35 years." I was thinking about that guy's life, you
Mm.
know, every day to his wife, "Hello, darling. Do you have a good day?" "Yeah, not bad. I met a guy today, came in, he lives in Spain. He was looking for a charging cable, and I knew exactly which one it was and where it was. I got it from really quickly." "Oh, that's amazing. Cup of tea. I'll put the telly on. Dancing with the Stars is on tonight."
God.
It's so, like, can you
I,
tell me that? I mean, like, these people, and we all know them.
Yeah.
They just have this existence. This is not life. This is
I mean,
just
I get it. I mean, there is a balance as well. I was in the car with my best friend from school today. I've known her since I was 11 years old. We went to look at houses. Anyway, driving along, and there was a girl that we were at school with. I knew her from 7 years old. She used to lie about having a magic fish. She said her goldfish could come out and jump on the stairs and stay there all day and jump back in his pot. I never forget that story. But anyway, when I was living in Costa Rica, I was talking about Alex Collier. He was coming on my channel to talk about the Andromedans. He's like one of the best ET contactees ever. He's never ever swayed. He's always been a super stable, beautiful, loving, great man. Can be really fierce when he needs to be, but he's been very, very consistent over the last 30 years. Um, and then this friend from school, she wrote on my Facebook wall, and she wrote, "I've been really worried about you and your mental state." And I was so hurt by that. I thought, oh my God, why didn't you just
what,
send
because of what you talk about.
no, yeah, because of me talking about the ETs and my own ET contacts and connection with ships and all of that. And so because it's something she hasn't experienced, but she's also never ever left town, the town we grew up in. And that's okay too. There are some people that don't, they don't, but also there are people that don't, they've never been shown or taught, or they're in such a low paying position, they're so stressed out. And that's what I was saying to you about the way that I work with my beautiful brothers and my sisters on my planet is telling the truth, is bringing everything, is inspiring. In terms of, like, I just got back yesterday. So funny, you came back from China, I came back from Thailand.
Yeah.
I went to Thailand with my friend Praveen Mohan, who's a beautiful speaker at my conferences, but also globally known for revealing ancient technology and ancient hidden glyphs and hieroglyphs and pictographs and carvings across the Hindu temples across the world. And we were in Thailand because there are so many ancient Hindu, which is pretty much the oldest religion in the world. There's at least 5 holy Bibles for that. They don't call them holy Bibles, of course. And you got Ganesha and Vishnu and Shiva and Brahma, and I studied Hinduism a lot years and years and years ago, and it was so wonderful going around all of these beautiful temples, these ancient temples, and feeling residue of energy everywhere you went. And then the Buddhas came along, the Buddhists, and they took over a lot of these temples, and they removed the lingam, which is the phallic symbol that goes into the yoni, which is a central altar point for ancient Hindu temples, and they've replaced that with a Buddha. Then the Khmer Rouge came through, or the Khmer came through Thailand, trashing temples like they did in Egypt, like the Christians and the Romans did in Egypt.
Yeah, yeah. Syria was one of the
Yeah,
Palmer. Bad.
taking out all of that. But my point is, like, I went and I filled my heart, and I was there to do some healing as well and recover my heart because I've been so ill. And I took so much video. I spent the week with the most beautiful Indian people with their beautiful accents, and they never get upset when I say bud ding ding, and they don't care. It's only in the West we get so, like, don't say that. Oh my God, that's so racist. Oh my God. I was at the Thailand Zoo. I made a video, and I'm like, okay, we're playing a game, me and my friend Praveen and all these other beautiful Indian friends and Thai friends. I'm like, right, we're playing a game, spot the white girl. I was the
Oh, I
only
saw that
white
video.
person. And to me, that's funny. It's funny. Let's get neutral to what the machine has programmed us to be. The machine has programmed us to be stressed and low. No, so I'll bring my videos from Thailand. I'll make them. I'll share them. I'll talk about it. Praveen will come on my channel. That way, you lift people up, you inspire them, but also those that really can't afford to travel, or they just live what
Yeah,
we
yeah,
might
yeah.
consider a doldrum life. There's a little bit of something. It's a little bit of an energetic charge and a emotional charge. And there are some people that just don't have it in them to function. And it's,
The
largely,
shufflers.
sorry?
The shufflers. We're going to call them the shufflers.
Yeah, well, I would say largely it's because they haven't been shown, they haven't been given enough of people around them telling them how beautiful, how special, how valuable. But they also have to pick themselves up. As you know, we're in our 50s now. You can't be going through life wiping everyone's bottom for them or their noses. They have to take a step forward in order to experience. And if that step forward means they're going to be hurt like you and I just were, with all of our life experience and our travels and our amazing spiritual connections, it happens to everyone. Unfortunately, it is part of the growth that every person goes through, isn't it?
I agree, but for the sake of the audience, you made that sound like we've been in some sort of support group together. And now we're doing an interview about the pain, Danny. Sorry, give me a second.
It's
I,
perception. It's just
this is
perception, my love.
pure coincidence that we found out that we've both gone through this traumatic betrayal shit
Yeah,
before,
yeah.
for the sake of the audience. I'm not in any support groups. I didn't get sick at all, Danny. I just got busy. I thought, bollocks to this. I'm going to take this line down. It's my warrior character. I said, right, that's it. There's the cards. I'm sitting at the table. What cards we got in this poker hand? All right. Because it's not about winning that battle that day. It's about winning the war. And I tell you what, I've discovered something about my strength. You can't beat me. You cannot get inside my head. You cannot beat me. I'm so freaking strong. This has boosted me. I don't care what is thrown at me next, because if I can get through that, and here's another expression I found. You can apply it in this because you see, with deceit, betrayal, and what was the other one? Lies, deceit, and betrayal. Danny, you can't be deceived and betrayed by anybody that's not inside your personal circle. You can't be deceived and betrayed by a stranger. It's only going to happen with someone that you've led into your circle of love,
Yeah,
right?
I thought for a minute you were saying you can't be betrayed in your circle. I just was. So yes, you can, and everyone else can attest to that too. So I'm sorry,
Well,
misunderstood.
no, but you can't be betrayed by a stranger.
Right, right, right.
They're in your
Yeah.
circle of trust, the people that know about you, and you spend time with them. So there is a certain emotion here, which is love. So if it's a love for a lover, a love for a family member, a love for a friend, it's love. Okay.
Mm.
And here's what I came across this expression one day on my travels on Instagram, and something said it was actually a song. It's a country song. And it said, if I can love the wrong person this much and it's taken away and I've lost it, imagine the love that I'm going to feel when I meet the right person. So
Mm.
that's a relationship. But I thought, how beautiful is that? It was a country song. I thought that's amazing. And small things like that, that I was sent to help me get through it, really helped me. So I wasn't sick. I was, I was actually, I've got really back into a really good fitness regime and respecting yourself and showing yourself. I don't like that self-love. It's one of these expressions I don't like. Everyone's using it. Oh, you're so misogynistic and, male toxicity. And, I'm sick of hearing that.
Yeah.
Spiritual, well, because what happens is one person sees it and said, and then all you get is the little minions that all use it. Next thing you know, it's become a meme. They're getting everywhere. So I
Yeah.
said, no, I'm going to work on myself. I've lost 12 kilos. I've put on like because I've got two movies next year.
Wow.
I've got two feature length movies where I'm like one of the leading actors. We got the finance done for it. I wrote both the scripts. I've had them for 6 years. All of a sudden, $5 million turns up out of the blue. I was like, that's Christ, that's brilliant. And then I've got the TV series for Netflix as well as all my other businesses. So I've dropped 10, 12 kilos. Because there's loads of shirt off scenes. I won't lie, it's just pure vanity. I'm not going to go on TV and leave a legacy where I'm looking like, look at that chubby middle-aged old saddy.
Look at that chunky bastard over there.
Yeah, I'm
Just
going to
put
get
on you,
ripped.
the right
I'm
fat
going to get
fucker he
ripped.
is.
I'm going to
Oh,
build the body
so
that's going to
funny.
take me into the next 10 years, and I will never let it go again because I've been lazy. During COVID, I didn't do anything. So the thing about that's all that the energy is about love. But the next question, Danny, is we get asked this all the time, is how do I even start on my spiritual journey? Because when people are asking the right questions, oh, I'm feeling there's more to life than just this, surely, than shuffling around Sheffield with a worn out Aldi bag going from betting shop to betting shop. So people ask me all the time, how do you start on this spiritual journey, Mahoney? What were the key things to it? And I think one of the key things is traumatic incidents in your life. If you've got a nice, easy life, everything's pleasant, you're not going to have any of these moments. But if you're faced with life challenges, that you're being stabbed in the back, sickness in your family, you lose your business, you're at rock bottom, you can't afford to pay your mortgage or even your rent, you're living on rice because you're just that broke. You've got to have some traumatic event in life, and this seems to be consistent with everybody that I know that is intelligent, emotionally intelligent, and has got a big spiritual journey going on their hands. But I'd like to have your input about that. Where would you suggest people start?
I mean, everybody, I believe, is going to either experience firsthand or witness someone they love go through something awful, whether it's divorce, a breakup, an illness. None of us are not touched by tragedy, violence, upset, okay? And each time you come to the other side, and most people always do, that's most people, we always survive what is there. We cannot believe that we've survived the life we've lived so far. That
Mhm.
is most people. And even the old lady in the village in the back of Bangladesh somewhere, which I heard was now a completely separate country, but is going to experience something around for herself or the people around her. So that's you're going to be forced to grow. You're going to get smacked around the head. That's what spirit does. They call it the 4x4 piece of wood round the head. You're not listening. You're not paying attention. Spirit is going to bring you something to help you move along and grow. But the other way is, reading. And I just recently reordered the Only Planet of Choice. And I remember I learned so much about the nine, the void, in that book, the original nine, not the Council of Nine. There's so many councils, but the nine, who are, considered Cedar's architects. So anyway, I don't want to go too much into that because, we're living in a copy of the original world we're supposed to be on. So this is, as David Icke says, a copy by a creature called Yaldabaoth or Yaldabaoth. I mean, there's a whole area there that we should go into another time, but not right now. But in answer to your question, I'm rereading The Only Planet of Choice because it took me on such a wonderful journey. When it first came out in the 90s, that's when I first read it.
I've never heard of that. That's actually a great
Oh
thing
my
to
God,
give me
hold
a list
on.
of books to read.
Oh my God, yes, yes, yes. This is so good because um,
Yeah.
it is.
Wonderful.
You'll often get, they changed it, but it's pretty much like this. The Only Planet of Choice, Essential Briefings from Deep Space, Phyllis Schlemmer. Now, who she is a channeler. And I'm not into channeling, I'm really not, but this is one of the ways that people got their information, especially in that time. I sent this book to Steven Spielberg in the 90s before any of the negative press.
Wow, really?
I sent it to him and I said, you need to make this into a movie. This will wake 1 billion+ people up. And so, anyway, there's a lot of stuff in here about Atlantis and
Hmm.
ancient Egypt, so much stuff. But Atlantis and the horrific, horrendous experiments, the genetics, hybridization, the things that the Atlanteans did do. And then somebody recently had a freak out. How dare you? They never did it. Well, yeah, they did. Okay. You might have been in the different part, but they did. And, and people
Cool.
respond to that. But my point is that I see LA, I see parts of America as the, Atlantis re-risen. Like it's got to a point where there's so much toxic behavior with people who are disrespecting what beautiful humanity is, what amazing beings we are. And today I saw on Redacted, do you ever watch that? Clayton, is it Clayton Harris or
Yeah,
Morris?
yeah.
I like him. Do you know that guy's got some guts? He's got my respect. He brought a bloke on today called Ryan Matter, and Ryan has made horrendous footage available on the trafficking of children. And for the first time today, I actually heard them say that during Biden's administration, they lost 450,000
50,000 kids
children.
from the border.
I'm
Yeah.
like, thank fucking God. Finally,
Yeah.
someone's got the courage. Someone said, and that's that Clayton. He's let that man on his channel, and now it's in their faces. But I remember when Obama was in, and I was in San Diego, down the road from the Tijuana border, and me and my friend Sasha League were trying to get down to the border to go and give these kids that were in cages. That was at Obama's time. So this trafficking has been going on for a long, long time. But
No,
now people are
I
making,
know.
yeah, they're
I know.
making it impossible to ignore. Like it's in your face.
Well,
Everyone is going to stand. Everyone's going to stand. But anyway, reading books is really important to get
I
people
like that.
a vibe of feeling and emotion. give them an idea that they may not have even conceived of yet. Or like when people read my book, Angels, Demons, and Aliens, because it's a lot of my physical one-to-one experiences, they go, oh my God, I had that experience when I was a child. No one believed me. I'm like, well, I believe you, darling, and that's why I wrote my book. So reading is definitely a massive way for people.
Yeah, well, you should put together. That's quite a good little thing, Danny. Why don't you put together top 5 books, and we'll put it as a link when we put these posted up there. People want to go and search those books. Just put the names out, three
Yeah,
or five, whatever you want. I
I
just
got
think it's a
several.
nice gesture to do for the
Yeah,
audience.
definitely. I got several books, several broadcasts on my YouTube channel where I sit and I go, and this is David Icke's new book, and blah, 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 and this is so and so's book. I do that a lot every now and again, or I'll sit and I'll go, right, these crystals, like different crystals, practicing, playing with. What am I wearing today? So I have a Hernica diamond, which is obviously a crystal, not a real diamond. You can only really get those in an area in New York, and a tiger's eye. And then my initial D for Danny in case I forget because I'm blonde. But it's like sitting with and working with different crystals. So I've been working with a beautiful labradorite. I just bought myself a massive heart-shaped white amethyst. And it's where they're sourced as well, because I know there are people that sell fake crystals. So there's an electromagnetic response that we get when we sit with, crystals. And to the people that say that crystals are evil, I would say, oh dear. Well, did you know that your pineal gland is full of
Other people,
crystalline energy and creates piezoelectricity? So you've got crystals embedded in you, Poppet. So I'm not really thinking that they're evil, so.
crystals is the devil. Crystal is the devil work. I like that. It's a great answer, Danny. You know what? I'm a bad reader. I can read and I can write, but the problem is it just makes me go to sleep straight away, you know.
Mhm.
And then if I have been reading, I'll be reading something, and then all of a sudden it'll say, Peter came in the room and he was furious about what he'd seen in the other room. And as he walked across the room to confront this person, I was like, hold on a second, who's Peter? I've been reading, but just not absorbing it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. So
are
well,
any are you going to put? Do you have the book that you've wrote, the demons, angels, and aliens? Right?
angels, demons, and aliens.
Is
It's
it available on you talking? Is
Oh,
it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. No,
Yeah.
I haven't done that yet. No, it's an easy read though. I did it big writing because now I need to use like 1.25 glasses. I'm so annoyed, so annoyed. But I made it like big, big, bigger print so most people can actually just read it straight. But
Put it. What's
no,
that thing people use on the beach?
Kindle.
Kindle. Have you got it on there?
No, not yet. No, it's just a paperback, which is nice. And the thing is, as well, this is important, okay? Physically holding, it's like when you write with a pen, you are getting emotions out, which helps you heal. But when
Yeah.
you're making that physical connection, you are rewiring parts of the brain, especially if you're writing down things that have happened to me. You're getting the pain out. You're doing a physical blessing, really a blessing on yourself. But also, there's something about holding a book, reading a book, everything about it, the experience, the concentration, the connection. Right now I'm just reading. It's in over there, but David Icke, he just sent me his new book. You can't get it yet till January, but he's speaking at my next conference, and I love him so much. And
I'd
his
like to meet him actually.
Yeah, he
He's
is
a good
so
guy.
special.
I
He's
tell you, he's been
so
through the
special.
trenches, hasn't he?
And do you know what else is interesting about him? So this just happened, right? It was like two weeks ago. Laura Eisenhower, David Icke, Mark
Yeah.
Atwood, and a couple of other people who had their YouTube channels stolen from them. They got them back. Miyoko Sano in Japan, my friend in Japan, they
Yeah,
got their
they've all
channels
Nick
back.
got his back, Charlie got I was thinking that Nick said, why don't you get yours back? I was like, do I really want it? It's just all those videos of geopolitical, and I was like, nah, not. I did so I just opened a new one.
Yeah.
Just opened a new one.
Well, yeah,
Different energy in me now, Danny. I'm not that guy 5 years ago. It's much
yeah.
different. I want to stay in this positive and not this doom and gloom and
Well,
start building a bunker.
But to be honest, honestly, some of that is a bit boring. I mean, how many times did we hear that Nasara Jasara, the Dinar, the Dong, and these things, I mean, potentially might happen, but what people don't seem to remember about Nasara Jasara, this has been predicted since the 1970s. These
I know.
cycles go round and round, and
My,
it's just
my
split in a new cycle, right?
my personal feeling about all of that financial reset, I think it's going to come from crypto. I think it's going to be coming from out of left field. I think digital assets now, there's something about it. I think, look, if you think about how cheap Bitcoin was when it was first out, nobody knew what it was. It was like 2 cents, and now it's 100 grand. So I think that's the only way. This redistribution of wealth, we've still got all these wealthy people around, and it's something. Again, I've said, look, if I need to know about it, show me. If I don't need to know about it, then don't show me, and that's it. I don't go looking for things that I just don't really have much interest in. I'm very fortunate to have made some good decisions in my life earlier about having my own security blanket, which fits really nicely financially. So I don't have any of those issues. Again, so blessed. I don't know why that they've just favored me so much, but um, on the spiritual side of things, I think it is something that is this is a form of currency, guys. Because if you get yourself aligned, you'll find answers. Opportunities will come. You look at the world with different eyes. If you are in that harmonic balance and looking to improve yourself every day and you're doing good things for people, you're a kind, honest person, I think you get life rewards. You'll see an opportunity. Someone say, you know what? You told me you need a car. I've got a car. It's not the greatest car, but we never use it. Come on round tomorrow and take the car. It's because you've done some act of kindness, and people can see because you're radiating a different energy, you're radiating a different light when you're in tune and you feel different, and people feel it. You have much better experiences. So I think we're talking about resets and life upgrades. I think this is the biggest reset you could do. Reset who you want to be and who you're going to become, because you'll find that life just has a way of rewarding you. And it's an incredible, some of the things I just start laughing sometimes. I was like, oh man, that's so funny. So that would be my advice, because people are always, I hate my job. I hate my job, man. So you know what? Make steps, have a plan, because life is a journey. It's like before we all had GPS on our phones and our cars. If you wanted to go anywhere, you'd have to get a map out, wouldn't you? Say, right, okay, so we're going to go down this road, make a right, and then on the A17, you'd have a map so you knew where your journey was. But people don't make these journey maps anymore, saying, this is who I want to be and where I want to be. Okay, so how are you going to get there? Are you expecting it to just become an overnight pop sensation with you recording something on your phone in the basement with your mom? No, you're going to have to make some plan. Well, how are you going to do it? And I think a great thing, a piece of advice now for kids that are saying, I don't know what to do with my life. I'm 18. I'm going to leave school. I'm going to go to college. I think them all going into this academic, I'm going to be a lawyer. I'm going to be a doctor. Don't waste your time. You know what you want to do is become a bloody computer repair guy or a heating engineer or an air conditioning spec. You want to have what I call bread and butter. Haircuts and hamburgers, Danny. Haircuts and hamburgers. That's an expression. Everybody goes back to the same place if you've got a good burger and it's good value, and everybody needs to get a haircut. You'll always go back to a good barber. So mechanics,
Well, yeah, yeah,
mechanics now, it's 3 weeks to get your car in,
yeah. Hands-on apprenticeships
or
and
plumber,
yeah,
or a
practice.
carpenter.
The other great thing for me that give me the richest woman in the world, the richest man in the world, sit them in front of me. If they haven't done their inner work, if they haven't done any healing on their inner child, then they are missing the greatest gift ever, because you cannot buy that.
I
And it's
know.
the people who have the greatest joy and are the lightest people in the world, and the people that can really handle so much and give so much, are those who have really done the inner healing, the inner child healing. And I think that every single person on this planet can benefit from taking time to imagine sitting their 3-year-old on their lap and imagine wrapping arms around them and even rocking like I rock. I'm on a couple of different spectrums, so I have to
Just
self-regulate. Yeah, it's not surprising, is it? I
oh,
have
I
to
find that
self, I'm proud of
hard
it.
to believe.
I'm proud of it. I'm proud of the way my brain works. I'm proud of my ability to retain so much information and to be expressive and be outspoken and be strong, but I literally will regulate like this and it looks
Yeah.
odd and I don't care because I don't hide it anymore. If I'm getting overstimulated, I'll just do what I need to do, and
Mhm.
I don't care if someone's on fucking, oh, look at that poor woman.
All of those characteristical traits that you described about being on the spectrum, I've got all those, so I'm going to have to get tested now, aren't I? Thanks, Danny.
These are the greatest gifts, the things that we were told. Again, the inversion from the awful ding dongs that have been running everything. The wonderful, the gifts from these labels, they turn out to be the greatest treasures ever for
I
so
agree.
many
Are
different
are you
reasons.
dyslexic as well?
Oh my God, yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
dyslexic
Absolutely.
people,
All of
because
it.
I am.
Yeah, the whole lot, the whole lot. And like typing backwards, I can type really, really fast. I remember I went to college, I did media studies and broadcasting and journalism, and I also did a course in typing. And I was the fastest typist in the class, and we did shorthand as well, right, for journalism.
Yeah.
Back in the day when I used it. And there was one girl, she was so clever. I was so in awe of her. She was so beautiful and clever and had come from such a good family. And, she's like the complete opposite to kind of what I thought I was at the time. And we used to get picked because we could do 100 words a minute. But when it came to transcribing, I couldn't read a thing. I couldn't understand
What
what
was
I'd
the point of
written.
that then?
It was crazy. It was
No point.
crazy. But yeah, no, and the other thing I want to say as well, because not just the healing with the inner child, which is so crucial. You got to treat yourself like your own best friend. Treat yourself like your best friend. Look in that mirror and be kind and loving to that person looking back at you because that person has survived so much. So respect them. Sit your inner child on your lap. And the other thing that's so important in just the short time we have together, David, to help everybody that may have forgotten these really easy tools, is the breath. When you are not realizing that every day you're shallow breathing, we don't even realize we're on automatic. But the second that you breathe in for 3 and out for 4, sorry, out for 6, in for 2, out for 4. The minute that you breathe out longer than you breathe in, you completely reset the emergency button in your brain. Because the minute that you're not same,
Yeah.
same, same, your brain goes, oh my God, I'm not on high alert. I don't need to be adrenalized and on the stress alert. When you allow your body to function 3 in, 6 out, and don't forget that the minute that you do that, that's why people smoke like a fag. The minute what are you doing in the brain? Your brain chemistry, you're releasing endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin immediately. One friggin' breath. That's it. Everyone's got one breath, and what? They don't breathe, they die. I mean, that's a fact.
Did you do that exercise on stage that day in Mexico when we were together?
I
Because I've
probably,
done that before somewhere with you.
yeah, I probably did. Yeah, and I do it on my channel. I did it the other day. Just made one video on breathing on my
I was
channel.
I was having deja vu then.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, when I was at school, Danny, the teachers they didn't know what dyslexia was. So they put me on all these lower band groups with the real authentic kids that had learning disabilities. And I'm sitting there, you know, and I developed my memory, so I could see everything that was on the boards, following it all. But then when you pick up the paper, put it on paper, I couldn't do it. Although the girlfriend I had at the time forced me because I said, "Listen, I'm giving up in school. I know I'm never going to need any of this crap, like O level certificates. What am I going to do with them?" She said, "Just sit the exams. Just sit the." I thought, "No, sit the exams, David." So I did, and I got C's on everything, just working off memory. And I promise you, on my soul, I never picked up a book, a page. I never did any revision anywhere. It was just all from memory. And I never even went back to get the certificates. I just said, "Oh, I'll do it for the sake of her because she made me promise." But the
Wow.
teachers told me, they said, well, he's lower intelligence. They said that to my dad. My dad looked at me and he said, him, lower intelligence. He never believed it either. The guy that talked his way out of a freaking police station, that guy. The cop said to me, oh, no, not the cops, the headmaster said, oh, yeah, he was from Belfast. He said, he's very plausible. He's definitely got the gift of the gab, that's for sure. So I do.
Oh my God.
Danny, let's wrap it up. I've got another interview. How long have we been on? How long is that? Have you got a
Um,
timer?
I don't know, but I've got a broadcast coming out at 7 with Tajana Sekic
I
from
don't know
a
who that
little
is.
girl who survived the Bosnian War, went through refugee camps, and speaks out across Canada. She's one of the most amazing truthers on the planet at this time.
Wow.
She's just so great. But anyway, yeah, it's great. I love that we can kind of dance around and touch on so many different subjects, with real kind of love and intention, and be so vulnerable and be so honest because people can feel that. You
Yeah.
can't anymore. Now that the energy shifted on the planet so much, we are ascending. She is ascending and we are ascending with her. And we're all getting upgrades. And if we're not listening and paying attention and working on the inner healing, those upgrades are going to be helped along with a bit of a whack here and there, that's for sure. And
I
like,
like, you said that word vulnerability because this is something I was specifically told to address. They said, you are going to struggle with sharing emotional things that have happened in your life because it's going to make you feel vulnerable and it's going to make you feel a little bit less of a man. And you know what? I was a little bit taken back by that, but I switched the energy on it. I said, look, I don't mind having a cry. I'll watch a movie and I'll have a cry. I have moments with my son that makes me cry. Like every time I say goodbye, he's 28, I still have a bit of a cry, you know?
oh,
And I switched that about being vulnerable. And it's when you said that, I thought it's important to share as a male perspective on that because we all like to say, no, I don't know, no, fucking no, I'm a man. Man, motion, man, no, no. So being vulnerable, like the videos I've been recording, um, have shown my vulnerability. It's shown exactly who I am, the authentic Mahoney, not the one who's covering up, pretending everything's amazing, guys. Here I am having a brilliant life. You're sitting there with no underwear on, just with a t-shirt, and you're broke. No, I'm authentic. I'm actually famous for not lying. I'm brutally, sometimes too brutal with people. Like my friend rang me yesterday and he was telling me about his relationship problem. And I said, are you insane? Get rid of that bad karmic. Get rid of it, Kevin. Get rid of it. He said, but I love it. I said, yeah, you always wear your heart on your sleeve. The last woman you got married to in Las Vegas, she stabbed you with a knife 6 weeks later. I said, you are the biggest heart baby. I said, get rid of her. He said, why are you so harsh, Mahoney? I said, because what you've told me, what she's done to you, it involves a car accident. And I can't say more than that. I was like,
God.
what?
Oh,
So anyway, having the courage to be vulnerable and also speak the truth and stand in your authenticity and be proud of who you are. You know what? You're going to break some eggs. You get some ego. It's only an ego gets broke. Mahoney, I think you're full of shit. And if somebody put on a comment today, you're full of shit. You're working for the deep state. All you ever did
oh
was
my
people.
God. What is
I was
wrong?
like, love and light, brother. What have you done with your life?
Wow. Wow.
Danny, we'll do this again soon.
Yeah.
I think it's been great catching up with you. And
Yeah.
now that we've focused in on, um, I think a passion that we both share is this spiritual journey that we're on, learning constantly every day, looking and seeking for answers and upgrades. And I think a very important part is as you walk through your life on your journey, make sure that you have your hands out so you can help people stand up on their journey. It's important to help people along their way as well, which is why I record so much. Extend your hand and say, hey, let me help you, brother or sister, and
Mm.
show love.
Yeah, that's very sweet. Just a word on your crying, like showing emotion. Women, that it is so attractive and you're a big guy, you're a big, tall, hunky, chunk of
Both.
bone and love, as we say. And if women find that very attractive, a man who can be honest, it's very beautiful. It makes them feel safe, and it's also quite sexy. And just a very quick thing here, that my beautiful husband died a few years, or 5 years now. It's 5 years.
5 years. Wow.
Yeah, yeah, 5 years, and died of a heart attack, unfortunately. And but when I first met him, I'm always me. I'm a handful. I'm strong. I'm just who I'm going to be. So when I go to a restaurant, I want to sit where I want to sit. I'm always polite, but I'll say, "Is it? Can I sit there, please?" You know what I mean? And so I'm used to that. I'm used to being on my own. I go years and years just on my own. And so the first time we went out, I did that automatically. He didn't say anything. And the second time we went to a restaurant, I did it again. I said, can we sit there, please? And I'm like, you good with that? I really want to sit near the window, see the sunset. And the third time we were going out, he said to me, he said, can I ask you something? And he goes, when we go to a restaurant, he said, will you let me get your chair? He goes, and when you've decided what you want to eat, will you let me order for you? And when we walk to the car, will you let me get your car
Open the
door?
door.
And he said, will you let me be a man for you? And then all my clothes fell off.
Accidentally.
So
Why
it
was he
was
not?
so, but what he did say, he said to me, I see you. You're a strong, independent woman. You've been heavy lifting your whole life. I see it. And I'm
Yeah.
very attracted, but I would love to be a man for you. And it was absolutely, and he treated me so beautifully, so beautifully, and we want that. We do,
I
Charles, we
I
do.
have all those. My mother put all these characters. I open car doors. I do the chair. I'll even you know, I I'll even stand up when a lady walks in the room, and so I often stand up by myself. Where are you going? We haven't paid the bill. You're running on the bill, aren't you, Mahoney? I said, no,
Uh,
it's just come on, let us stand up. But my
yeah.
mother installed that into me. But my question is, why was he a slow walker? Or are you a fast walker? You like sprinting to the
Yeah, I
table?
am. I am a fast walker. Yeah, I am. It's amazing. I really am. People have a hard
But
time
that's
keeping up.
why he couldn't get his polite, respectful ways in because you're sprinting to the car door.
Picking ahead, but being all dominant and bossy, and
But manners are very important, and this is a sign of a good upbringing. And I think you're right. You got to let the man be the man, let the woman be the woman. It's all very well. Like I like to cook. I'm a really good cook. So you know what? I don't expect you to cook. I don't expect you to clean. I can do my own laundry. If you want to do it, great. But I don't have these necessary quirks that say, you know what, woman, you stay in the house all day. But I like it when people are that they stay in the gender. You know, I'm the guy that takes the trash out. I'm the guy that gets rid of the spiders. I'm the guy that holds the car door open. I'm the guy that's going to pick you up and, lift you back up into the house and you've had too much to drink and hold your hair while you're vomiting in the toilet. So
oh
does
god, well, I don't drink. So what an awful thought. What an awful thought. But no, I know what you're saying. And the thing is, the roles, whatever they are, they're there for everything. When you've been single, as so many people watching this have and are, you
Mhm.
do everything. But the point about Jeff was he asked my permission, and that.
Yeah, no, that's lovely.
Yeah,
That's a
it was
lovely
so
story.
respectful. It was so respectful. So I didn't have to show him, look how independent I am. Look, I don't need you. I make my own money. I do this, I do that, which is the truth, and that's the fact. But it was just that, I could just sink into a loving relationship. And I took equally great, beautiful care of him. So it was at the beginning of the relationship, and it was the best relationship I ever had. And when you wake up in the morning and someone's stroking your hair and looking at you with utter devotion and love, it's just so beautiful. And I really
Yeah,
wish people would take better care of their partners, and they're moaning and bitching and
yeah.
whining because they're not working on themselves, so they're deflecting onto their partner. What I wish for people is remember why you fell in love, remember what you were attracted to, and then own the fact that you're probably trying to change the very things you were drawn to. Like,
Yeah, you're very true. Very good
yeah, you're,
advice.
you're so big and bombastic and loud and wonderful. Like you can hear you down the road and round the corner at the next restaurant, right? And so you'd meet someone who's like, oh my God, he's so this, he's so that. David's so great, so wonderful. And when you get with them, they're like, oh my God, you're so loud, you're so annoying. People, it's so interesting how that happens. We don't seem to realize that the thing we were attracted to, we try to control and change. Just let them be. Let people be who they are. Remember why you fell in love. It's so important, isn't it?
It is. You're going to make people very jealous of that story, Danny. I'm already jealous of that
Well,
story.
I want people to know what a relationship can be. I mean, he died, unfortunately, my beautiful man, he died. But, he taught me. I'm going to cry. I'm not going to cry.
Yeah,
He taught
that's
me, he taught me what love is, and I want
and
that for
and you've had that experience. There's many people go through their life and don't have that
they
experience.
never know. They never know what it is to be truly loved. So, sometimes I say, okay, he's gone, but at least I know what it's like to be really honored and really loved and was able to love him back. But it's for everyone. We can all do it. We can all have that. We really can.
Okay. That's a lovely story. You being vulnerable and sharing your emotion, it's touching.
Mhm.
Before we get even more carried away, let's hang up.
Yes, yes, yes. Go
We
away,
both got other
Mahoney.
shows to do.
Get lost. I
Danny, I love you. You're an amazing woman.
love
I
you
look forward
too.
to talking to you soon.
Yes, darling.
Send me all your links that you want so people can get in touch with you. I'll send you mine and we'll put them on the videos. And I'll be getting this up tomorrow. So you got time. After your other show tonight, I won't put it up till tomorrow. But with a huge hug, a virtual hug over the internet. I'll see you later, girl.
All
We'll
right,
see you
darling.
very soon. Yeah.
God bless. And thank you to the beautiful audience and to my audience. I love you. Sending you love from my heart to yours as always. And I'll see you soon. Thank you, David.
Thanks, babe. Speak soon.